So, we are back here in Call of the Wild theAngler, and back here on the newly released Japan. And now that the map has been officially released for a couple of days, some of the diamond locations are being found because this community is insane at finding the best spots for fish. So maybe we can get out here and, if we get lucky, we might be able to catch our first diamond on the new map. And it'll probably come as no surprise. The first spot I want to try here is a diamond location for Chum salmon. So we'll bring this cast through. Hopefully we can just hook into something right away. And I will show it on the map just so you can check it out yourself. This is looking like nothing at all special. Might not even be a Chum salmon. That is a Dolly Varda, which of course we're going to find in here as well. Just a little 2-pounder. And to show it on the map before we dive into this, just down here, not too far from actually the outpost here. Nice little spot right out on the dock. Just out past this rock here seems to be the area we want to aim for. There we go, got something else on here. Decent tension actually. Now, currently it's probably a little bit too early. Water is probably a little bit too cold for that Chum salmon bite. But we might as well stay here. Keep on catching whatever we can get out of here. That appears to be, that's a Chum salmon, so we might be moving in the right direction. And hopefully some of the bigger ones will start to bite quite soon. But that is a full 4.11 pounder. We're looking for one close to 30 pounds bigger than that. And for now, we'll stick with this lure that can catch Dolly Varden and other stuff. When the water warms up a little bit, we'll switch to a spoon that'll keep the Dolly Vardens away. And hopefully that diamond Chum salmon is lurking out here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. That is some tension. Now, I think there are white-spotted char in here too, but maybe we've just had the water temperature tick up a little bit. Let's see what we're looking at here, because this one is far more difficult to bring in. Definitely staying close to the bottom, but as we get it in here, it's going to have no choice. This is indeed a white-spotted char, but got to see the entirety of the array of species that are in this area. Nice 16 pounder. And you can imagine a 30-ish pound Chum salmon, pretty tough to bring in as well. Now we're talking. Got a big old white-spotted char hitting that. You can see a Chum salmon that was after it as well. And I actually did end up joining another server that's later in the day. I went back and looked, our PB Chum salmon, we caught around 52 degrees, and we were still in the 47-48 range in that last morning server. So in the interest of being most efficient with our time, came out here to a server that's a little afternoon. And what I'm most interested in, is we can hardly haul this thing in here, is what is the water temperature going to be. So that is a 25 pounder. Temp is right where we want it. And you might have noticed there, I also have hot dogs out as Chum, just to try to bring as many over here as possible and try to hopefully hook into a big one. Now, it also turns out I can't read. Dolly Varden will absolutely hit a spoon. So just went up one size. We have a hook size 5 spoon. I thought we were going to snap our line on that rock, but that's a decent fish there too. That is a Chum salmon. No doubt going to be our biggest so far today. And hopefully going to be plenty more to come. But let's see, maybe, I don't know, 15 pounds or so? Not a bad looking fish. Going to be 16.74. Not a bad deal. So it seems like we've got the right conditions. Just got to hook into the right fish. Well, I learned something. There's Taimen in here too. There's another location I do want to fish for those a little bit later, but turns out they can also end up in this river. There's a good looking Chum salmon. Just gonna bring this on in this way. Should be able to get him over there. Although right now he has 0 interest. There we go. Thought for a second he was gonna ignore that. Well, this ain't gonna be hard to land. Hooked him literally at like 9 feet. And we're able to bring him right in. That's another 16 pounder. But I guess the good news is Taimen don't hit a spoon, because even one that size, that would probably rip this line out to the other shore. That's looking just a little bit better. I decided to come up here to the bridge, because it does allow you to kind of see down in, and maybe help to identify if there are already big ones in the water that we're just, you know, maybe not hooking into due to smaller ones. Only a 15 pounder, but I think the fact that we can see so well up here, we might stay here a minute. That might be a good one. Probably the best tension we've seen so far. Thought he looked pretty good down in there. And it does appear this side of the bridge is a little bit better. There's a gold, finally. 23 pounder, about 3 foot long. Not a bad looking fish by any stretch. By the way, that guy's been standing there holding that white spotted char for an hour. So, hopefully he doesn't mind us fishing here beside him. But, I guess we'll keep on trying over on this side. We still got plenty of time. Water temperatures are about right. Maybe we're just getting into the best of it. You know, maybe this is our sign, because all that said, it just seems like maybe it's not meant to be to get any kind of decent chum salmon today. The bites really slowed down, the water temperatures increased just a bit. If we can get this timing to bite, which it looks like that's going to be no issue, we can take a look at that real quick. And that was the next thing on the list anyway, going to a Taimen location and seeing if we can maybe get a decent one of them. So let's bring this guy in. He's nothing special, 50 pounds maybe? Now 60 pounds, not too bad. But we're up to closer to 53 degrees. And it's as if all the chum salmon have disappeared. We just don't even see any down here. So we're going to do that, go restock on hot dogs for some additional chum, because obviously the Taimen like it. Maybe we can do better with them. So basically, gonna go ahead and get hot dogs out there for chum. We're right here on the edge of this deepest water in this lake, kind of in the northwest. We're gonna go ahead, throw our 2-aught jig head out here. We've just got an extra large grub on there, and we'll probably work our way up to a 3-aught, but for now we'll go with the 2-aught. Let this sink to about halfway now, which will be 55 feet, then start to bring it back in, and hopefully we get a Taimen to come over here and bite this. So even 3-aught is still silver for these things, but if we want to start to pull some out of here literally right as we reel, and that's so consistent with these things, where's our tension? Wait, what? You lost a fish because the tension in your line was too low. Well, that would explain why there was no tension, but, well, you get the idea anyway. I don't know what happened there. Literally right away again, there's some tension. And you can see it's not a really big one. I'm guessing this will be 30 to 40 pounds. That's why eventually I want to go up to that 3-aught. But I figure we'll catch a couple out of here, maybe kind of get things moving, then go up a size and try to eliminate some of these big fish, but smaller fish relative to how big these things get. We're looking for like 130, 140 pounds for a diamond. So I would say we'll know based on tension when we hook into something that's at least got some potential. But first one of the day from this spot, that is going to be, look like that kind of lighter variant, 36 pounds. Maybe 2 or 3 fish in that area will go up 1 hook size, but you get the idea. Hopefully this time we can catch one a little bit better than our chum salmon luck was. First one on a 3-aught. Ooh, that looks way better. All right, I'd say 55% drag. We can kind of start to bring this thing in, but I'm gonna say this will probably be our PB and a gold. Yeah, a little tougher to bring in than any of the other ones, and that's just kind of the idea. Catch some of those smaller ones, maybe make some room for some others to spawn, and then hook into something like this. Now, I don't know, this could be diamond tension for all I know, but I don't know, maybe. I kind of doubt it. It's 99-pound braid, and again, we're looking for 130, 140-pound fish. We haven't caught anything that big with this setup just yet. This will be the biggest fish we've caught on it, so this will actually be good information going forward, just to kind of know what to expect, what to look for. So not a hard fight per se. I mean, still a little iffy. If we had even like 80-some pound braid, we'd be pushing it with this much drag. But we're able to get them in pretty routinely. Never pulling line, just kind of, you know, maxing out our tension. And obviously we could go higher drag and stuff like that. So as we get into 9 feet, we still can't see him. There he is. That's a pretty good sized fish. The more reddish variety, so let's see. What actually is this guy? 99.18 pound gold, so we haven't quite, look at the size of that thing. Really, really nice. That's the first time too, like with the sun, that we've gotten to really see that reddish coloration actually come through on the fish. You can see it in the water, but then outside the water, it's kind of tougher to see when you're not in good lighting. So we still need like 30, 40 pounds on that to make diamond. It's a 5-footer, but what I really want, well, I guess what I really want is a diamond, but what I'd also like, if we're not going to get a diamond, is at least to eclipse 100 pounds. So I'm going to keep on rolling with that same strategy. Try to get one just a little bit bigger. That's another pretty good one. Probably just a little bit less. I actually got this on a 2-aught though, because right after that 99 pounder, things really dried up. But that maybe it's just the move, just kind of a back and forth type deal. Still just can't quite get him in here. He's at 8.3 feet. And it's mostly straight down. There he is. Looks like the less red variation this time, but gotta think gold again. Indeed, 91 pounds this time. My favorite part about this, by the way, we're in this little John boat, and we're just catching 90, nearly 100-pound monsters. No problem whatsoever. They are just cool. I really didn't expect these to be my favorite fish, but kind of ironic, quite quickly, they're growing on me. Ooh, here we go. Now we're into one. That's pulling line pretty easily. 130 feet out for now. Going up to 70% drag pretty much stopped that. But that's got to be something a little bit better. 100 pounds, I say no doubt. Is it a diamond? Maybe. If we're down around 60, it is pulling line. So, gonna be hard to say for sure. I don't think it's gonna be a terribly difficult fight, but that said, we can't do much at 60. We go much above that, the tension starts to get a little bit scary. Finally, kind of moving him back our way. Anytime we go up to 65, it just gets too close to snapping. Like, we can move him better at 65, but generally speaking, he'll kind of start to run, and I think it's going to happen here. And it just gets to be, yeah, a little more than I'm comfortable with. After so long not catching any that pull line, we can do it at 60, and I think we're safer doing it that way. I really want to see him. He's still down there 20 feet, and we've only got 26 feet of line out, so he's really straight below us at this stage. Might need to mostly be pumping to bring him up here. He's going to run one more time yet, and there you go. Just doesn't quite want to give up on it. Able to move him pretty good there, so we just will keep on doing that till he doesn't let us. Kind of getting more weight on it. He's less than 10 foot down. If we bring this up, should be able to land him. I just don't see him, so I guess we'll get to find out in the harvest screen. Big looking fish. Man, 116 pounds. So, Diamond like is around 130, it looks like. We're close. And that is easily our biggest Taimen so far. 116 pounds. I think that's the same weight as our Diamond Wells catfish. So outside of legendaries then, this is basically tied for our biggest fish ever. Not bad at all. Definitely got that reddish variation again. I guess we'll stick with it, just in case, but I do think we're definitely at the very end of the ideal time and temperature for them. That's encouraging. Got another runner. Feels like same area, but, you know, when you're looking at fish that are 115 plus pounds, I don't know how big of a difference there is between a 116 pounder and a 125 pounder. This one's pretty similar, though. We can't move him. Getting them slowly hauled up here. I will say, though, I've been hearing more drags around me screaming as well, so there's a nice one that we're getting having caught right beside us, but maybe this time of day, this temperature actually is better than when we started. In the meantime, we're into 20 feet. That was 118-pound gold beside us. I think what we've got on's in that realm. See if we can... he's going to run right at the last second. Should be able to stop him there. Got him to 20 feet. Making up a lot of that really quick. Bring him right back in here if we can. Gonna lift this up. Right into 6. I think 5.7 is where we usually been landing them. And gotta be another 100 plus pounder. This is 113 pounds, so a little bit less. But big fish all of a sudden starting to strike a little bit more frequently. Let's get the line back in the water again. Ooh, that's pretty encouraging. Now, I went up to 65% drag, basically hoping that if we saw a line getting pulled at that, maybe that could confirm it's at least a little bit bigger, but that's got to be in that same realm. If we go down, see if he starts to pull line or not, because that was pretty high tension anyway. That's got to be a pretty good one again, not bad. Just going to lift this up so we can get him that last little bit. There's our 5.7. Actually get to see that one a little bit, but hard to make a judgment. That is 111 pounds, so slowly we're working a little bit backwards, but 300 plus pounders now. That's got to be a good sign of something. Well, I'm at least relatively convinced we're probably past the peak time here. Things have slowed down considerably, and the size of fish we're catching are more like this, so we're going to make one final stop today. It's actually back up at the volcano that we're looking at. Fortunately, we have a fast travel with our Jeep being right there. And we're going to do, why did it make us move? Tried to kill us. We're going to do a little bit of koi fishing, as long as we can survive. Got something pretty quickly here. Now, I went ahead and put a red worm on here. We've got a size 6 hook. And the idea is, this at least seems to also be a diamond freshwater crab location. The time's probably wrong, but hey, worth a shot just in case. And maybe we could go up a hook size, because that was pretty pathetic there. Let's try a 5. Really, like, significantly slower there. That might be a crab, because that's very low tension. That is indeed our first freshwater crab of the day. Just a little 10-ouncer. At some point, I imagine we can catch a decent one out of here, so that's the point of using the red worm as opposed to corn or something else. Just gotta maybe get some more frequent bites. So I decided to switch it up here and go to a morning server, just with the thought that maybe things would go better. And it sure sounds like we're getting multiple fish hitting this already. Tension's nothing great here so far, so probably at least this first one. Not going to be much better than the last, just looks like a little goldfish down there, but that'll be 2 pounds, which I think is an improvement. Pretty quick once again. I think the morning server might have been the move. There's some tension. That's looking just a little bit better, so probably a good thing we made that move. Gotta be another koi, but you can see, much better looking. I don't know if we've had that pattern yet. Maybe. That looks pretty darn cool. Now, that's a 7.56 pounder, which is an improvement of 2.45 pounds. There was an update to change some stuff, but we had a gold before. It was like 5 pounds. So they must have made it so diamonds are bigger. I think that is the case. And that's probably a good thing for our case here, because I'd much rather catch a 10+ pound diamond than say a 7-pound diamond. Finally something again. It does seem like we're better off with a size 6 hook. Caught the silver koi on a 5, but there were 2 fish down there hitting that. Tension's certainly much lower, I guess, as we'd expect. But for whatever reason, not much willing to hit a 5, despite the fact that on a 6, typically we just catch bronzes. So I guess we'll stick with this, but probably going to expect to catch a lot more small fish. That looks a little better, maybe more in the area of a silver again. Seems to be just the way to go then. We'll just roll with the size 6. It's a 6-pound bronze, so we're close, I guess, to silver. Let's see if we can get one more, or a crab, whatever we can catch, but I think, throw that out there, this will probably be our last cast, and we'll just let fate decide what our final catch of the day is going to be. Probably going to be another koi then? And nothing special tension-wise, so I would say, unless this is some kind of surprise deal, which it's not, unfortunately, no diamonds today, but got certainly a little bit closer, I would say, with the Taimen. 3 over 100 pounds. Got 1 gold chum salmon, and unfortunately with the koi, maybe a little bit more learning about the best places to fish for them would be beneficial. But anyway, I do think that's going to do it for this video, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.